heavyweight contenders.
Use your words. Say that over again.
In another universe, Sean Oakman would fight DK Metcalf for the WBC World Heavyweight Championship of the World.
And the WBO Heavyweight Championship of the World?
Yeah, pretty much.
I think it'll be a better UFC fight.
Except for neither of them can bend their limbs enough.
169 and 163.
Exactly. And they can probably only lift their leg up to their hip.
I mean, Sean Oakman's freakishly ripped.
No, I know.
You remember the memes?
Yeah, they both are.
He looked like the mountain.
So was Metcalf.
Yeah, but he's not.
All right, let's not compare
male physiques.
Yeah,
it was getting weird for a second. I was like Sean Oakman's more like the mountain from Game of Thrones.
You took it there. You're like,
you're the one who's nervously laughing.
You were trying to stand for Sean Oakman, trying to say he's buffer than DK Metcalf.
He is, because he's 6'9" and he played basketball and then played defensive end. And the memes of him were crazier because receivers aren't supposed to be that big. And that was Alex Madison from Boise State standing next to him in that picture, by the way. Shout out to Boise State running backs getting drafted. He went to the Vikings. 3rd round. Okay. Keith, good news. The Raiders are a bag of trash. I mean, Keith, I hate to break it to you, but Greg Little, that tackle that the Panthers took in the 2nd round out of Ole Miss, he might be trash. And Brian Burns, that 1st-round pick out of Florida State, he might be trash.
But you like him, so you can't even say that.
And that 3rd-round pick that they got, West Virginia quarterback Will Grier,
you can literally name
he
off
might be trash.
You can literally do that to every pick. That's not even fair. That's
but
the
it
whole
was funny,
point of the
so
draft.
go with it. It was funny, so go with it.
Is that going to be our new segment? He might be trash.
But it's funny, so go with it.
Speaking of people who aren't trash, but yeah, Gerald McCoy, man, pretty much went on IG. He got into a petty rant saying everyone lost their mind and that they should never question him. He's one of the best players of the generation, all that stuff.
He is.
And he's not. This isn't the first time he's had this type of rant. He's
not the Paul Pierce of football players.
No, but he was this big, happy, smiley dude, like coming into the league. That was his whole thing. Versus, Sue, who was more like serious and fierce and like
punch your face off.
Yeah, but now he's kind of getting his Killmonger on. He's been for like 2 seasons. He's been slowly getting a little bit more disgruntled.
He's turning into Batman.
His locks are getting a little bit bigger, and he's growing a beard.
He already has a bat cave. We saw it on Hard Knocks a couple years ago. He getting sick of y'all. He getting sick of y'all shit. He gonna come out like Azazel when Batman has his back broken by Bane.
But he just lost his Robin, so
nah, he gonna come out and start sniping people.
And they keep making him change defensive schemes and keep changing out his
killing
sidekicks,
his sack totals,
and drafting people that are busts,
putting people next to him who just weren't good enough.
I should really just trade him.
To where? And I still say
you already know what I want to say.
You're gonna say to the Rams.
In Oakland.
Who
trade him to Telegraph Ave
for a 1st-round pick?
Hell no.
What do you think?
Send Carl Joseph and a bag of hot Funyuns.
First off, I'm keeping my hot Funyuns.
The big bag.
Nah, he's not.
The $2 bag.
I'll give you those Flintstone push pops. The orange ones.
Nobody wants those.
Fam. Yes, they do.
You want
Especially
those.
in Florida. Yes, I do want those.
You probably eat those Minute Maid.
No.
Frozen cups. I used to hate when they would be like, oh, we're having ice cream on Friday and come out with those little frozen Minute Maid cups.
That I can make at home with Kool-Aid and better ice.
Yeah, but it doesn't have the
hair.
same consistency. I see what you're saying, but it's not the same. Well, it's essentially the same.
Kool-Aid ice cubes were the shit. I don't know what you're talking about.
Like the first 3 times
on your poorest day. Okay, now you front. You put too much Kool-Aid. That's
like the one time you saw it on Disney Channel and we're like, I'm gonna actually try that. I'm gonna get up my ass and actually try that. And you do it, and it's like, oh wow, this is actually pretty cool.
Like that black dude.
But then the second time you make it, and you're just like, this is way too much work, and it's not even that good.
Like that black dude in all those Everest College commercials who would tell you to get off your ass.
Yeah, something like that.
But shout out to all the girls who used to put Kool-Aid in their hair to dye that shit.
I don't know anyone who did that. But okay.
A girl in my class told me this week. She's like, yeah, you put the peroxide in and then you just use Kool-Aid to dye it. My mom was like, yeah, I tried that shit like in the 70s a couple times or the 80s a couple times. But instead, she just put like the shit in her hair. She put Vaseline and then she put Kool-Aid on top of it. And she's like, yeah, got a bunch of flies in my hair. Never did that shit again. So, yeah, really didn't think girls were really going to those depths to dye their hair with Kool-Aid. I learned some shit this week. I'm growing.
All right, you ready to move to the game portion of the show? All right, so first up, we got Taker Tangent.
You really let the clap go all the way to the end. That's wild.
We got Taker Tangent up first. Martavis Bryant, former third-round pick out of Clemson, former Steeler, former Raider, wants back into football. He's reapplying for reinstatement. Do you got a take or a tangent on that?
I shouldn't say that, so I won't. I think he has a lot going on. I think if this was like a Josh Gordon situation, there'd be more sympathy, but because it's him and he's had like law issues before, I just don't see how he's ever going to play again in the NFL ever again. He was like the most talented out of all those Clemson receivers.
So he's Alden.
More athletic ability than he actually did better than Sammy Watkins at one point. But he had more promise and athletic ability than
So he's Alden.
No,
So he's Alden.
He's a lesser version of Alden.
Hey man, I'm ready for the XFL. XFL said they're gonna let people play who.
Shout out to Winston Moss being the head coach and GM of one of the teams in the XFL.
They said that if it's up to them, the commissioner, he said that if it's up to him, players who, smoke weed won't get kicked out of the league. He said if it's his preference, they won't even test for it. So that puts guys like Alden Smith, Martavis Bryant back into play.
It kind of does, but the problem with that is he also has like crimes. He's like committed crimes before, I guess. So they might disqualify him because of his criminal record.
Listen, man, and you've said this before. If it's one thing Vince McMahon knows, he knows how to make a story. He knows how to make a show.
Not on Raw last week. That shit was trash.
So if he can take those concepts to football, which he kind of did before the first time around, it just blew up. If he can do it without it blowing up in his face completely.
Do you really believe that?
Do I really believe it?
That he's going to keep it as a niche thing?
I think so.
I don't think he will.
I think times are brewing right now to where people want another serious football league, but it's just someone needs to tell. Someone needs to add something different than the NFL.
I think he's going.
And it's not just the game.
I think he's going to tie in SmackDown when it gets on Fox with the XFL, and I think it's going to fail.
I don't know what that means.
Because SmackDown is going to be on Fox Sports, I think this year or next year when the deal goes through. It's happening. It's going to happen pretty soon. And you factor in, okay, well, let's say the XFL comes on, and then boom, you got SmackDown, which is going to be on primetime. So that's a good lead-in for ratings. And I'm pretty sure the announce team is going to be saying, hey, make sure you tune in for what happens next on SmackDown. And I'm pretty sure they'll find a way to incorporate cats like Mojo Rawley, who played football and now are wrestlers, or they'll find a way to incorporate
I don't think
Gronkowski.
I don't think they'll take it that far.
I think they would. I think they.
I don't think they'll take it.
I
I don't think they'll take it that far.
Hey man,
just because that's what everyone's kind of expecting from them.
Not really, but Vince.
That's what I've heard a lot of people say that, and honestly, I agree with the premise of it, but at the same time, I also understand that is what caused the league to fail before, and going at it again, I'm pretty sure they didn't wait this long to do it again to do the same exact thing. Because that's what everyone is expecting from them. So I honestly think it might, because it has the brand recognition, it has someone who can do the branding and the story behind it. It's going to get big time investors. It's not going to have this aura of it being broke around it like the AAF. I mean, for all intents and purposes, outside of getting people to the actual games, the AAF was a success.
Pretty much. Grassroots success.
It was a grassroots success. So now it's just a matter of finding someone who can take that, replicate it, but do it better. Add another element to it that makes people want to go to it in live action. So
true.
Yeah, but on that note, next one we got Derek Anderson retires after time with the Buffalo Bills. You got a take or a tangent on that? Will Greer 1.0? The original Will Greer?
Nah. Will Greer doesn't have as big an arm.
Yeah, Will Greer.
He went to Oregon
I feel like
State.
Will Greer is going to be around as a backup for like 15 years, though.
Probably.
And only start like 3 games.
Jake Delhomme type shit?
Yeah, something like that.
But I mean, yeah. Cam needs a backup. Remember when Jimmy Clausen was Cam Newton's backup?
Remember when Derek Anderson was Cam Newton's backup?
Yeah, but like technically, he's kind of a Cleveland legend.
Do tell your tangent on the issue.
Okay, school's in session, everybody. So way back when Braylon Edwards was an All-Pro NFL receiver, I know, right?
One season
when he had 16 touchdown catches. And they went 10-6, and they had Josh Cribbs. I think Jerome Harrison too. Jerome Harrison was nice out of what was it? Washington State. That's when Washington State was actually good. He was on that 10-win Washington State team that like he rushed for almost 2,000 yards and ran like a 4.34 or something like that. But anyway. That team had Derek Anderson. I think he made the Pro Bowl that year too, for the Browns.
Yeah,
he was a Pro Bowl alternate. I think he threw like 20 touchdowns or something like that. But him and Andy Dalton, I want to say, had like a lights out game. He had a lights out game against the Bengals. I think they lost, but he threw like 6 touchdowns or some crazy shit like that. He had like 6 total touchdowns, and like the Browns were set. Like they didn't make the playoffs, but they went 10-6. Or 9-7, one of those records. But it was kind of crazy. Like to think that that was the only real bright spot for them since this year. Like other than this year, Derek Anderson will be mostly known for that. And I think he went to UCLA and transferred to Oregon State. And became good.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, Matt Moore, UCLA had a lot of transfers at quarterback, and they ended up going to Oregon State and being way better. Interesting how that works out.
All right. Next up, we got Ben Watson going back to the New England Patriots. Is that a touchdown or is that a turnover?
That's a touchdown, man. He started his career there, was the 32nd overall pick out of Georgia years ago. And now he goes back to good old Tom Brady. Like he never left. And he didn't live up to the hype of what he was supposed to be, and he didn't really usurp.
He didn't? I mean, he played 15 years.
He did it.
He played in multiple explosive offenses.
He did it everywhere but New England. But he was a threat in New England, but like he didn't really stick it in with Daniel Graham was the entrenched starter when he was there. Then they had Christian Fourier. And I just think that I don't know, like he's had a really successful career. So it's interesting to see him